Yesterday, I was on the r/hunt showdown subreddit and, through a couple of comments, I learned that many people on both the subreddit and even the Discord server have a serious misunderstanding of how the Nitro, and more importantly, shredders work. I've had people tell me that Nitro shredders can penetrate 2 brick walls, and now they extend the one-shot range to the upper chest out to 65 meters. And the majority of those who saw this agreed with them. Since I am so stupidly petty, I decided to do a little testing for myself and made this video to show what I found. Can the Nitro's shredder rounds penetrate 2 brick walls? No. Can they at least penetrate 1 brick wall? What can they pen then? Thin wood at close range. I am not joking at all. Shredders do really have the exact same penetration stats as compact ammo. Yikes. Stock nitro bullets can penetrate multiple brick walls, and shredders struggle to penetrate a single wooden wall. To be fair to shredders, they can still at least penetrate walls at all, unlike their more common counterpart dum-dum ammo. Shredders used to have pens similar to stock nitro rounds, but received multiple nerfs in the Tide of Corruption patch, including to their pen, and the general consensus has not been changed to reflect that for whatever reason. On the topic of the Nitro's one-shot range, not only was the subreddit wrong about this, even I was wrong about this before I started testing. What I had heard about the Nitro was that it one-shot to the upper torso to 51 meters, and the shredders extended this distance to about 65 meters. That would add about 14 meters to the one-shot distance, or an increase of about 27%. Sadly, none of this is true based on my testing. Upon testing both the stock Nitro rounds and shredders, I learned that the stock Nitro rounds will one-shot to the chest up to about 43 meters, and the shredders will one-shot to about 58 meters away. Both these numbers are lower than what was commonly mentioned to me, but the difference is actually more significant. Shredders actually increase the one-shot distance to the chest by 15 meters, a whole 35% increase. This is due to the damage fall off looking different between stock and shredders. They both start falling off at 10 meters, which, by the way, is worse than compact, which starts at 20 meters. And they both do the same amount of damage. The reason is because the damage fall for the shredders is less severe for the first 100 meters, and then drops off more severely than stock after that, according to fellow hunters on the Hunt Showdown Discord. I made this video originally because of an argument I got into on the r/hunt showdown subreddit for saying that I prefer stock nitro rounds over shredder rounds. So despite that both major misconceptions have been cleared up, I will take a little more time to talk about that as well. When in Rome and all that. Some of the other differences between stock and shredders are the bleed, the price, and the reduced muzzle velocity. The reduced muzzle velocity doesn't really matter in my opinion. You're going from 550 meters per second to 495 meters per second, aka a 55 meters per second difference or only an 11% decrease in muzzle velocity, which really doesn't matter at all. It's still a decrease, yes, but so little that it doesn't matter. The big one for a lot of people between stock and shredders is the bleed. The issue for shredders bleed, in my opinion, is bleed is good for making people temporarily stop fighting you to deal with the bleed, allowing me to push or rotate, and to help secure kills. For most guns with Dum Dum, they are good at both of these things, but shredders struggle with these for one big reason. They will often just kill them outright, which means the bleed did nothing if they hit the head or torso. For the Nitro, most people like the bleed because it helps secure a kill if you hit them in the arm. Within 10 meters, the Nitro will deal 147 damage to the arm, so a single tick of bleed will instantly kill them. The issue is, you aren't aiming for the arm, you're aiming for the chest with the Nitro. The shredders are simply there to help turn a non-lethal shot to a lethal one, but the other real kicker is the fact that it isn't even consistent at that. Outside of 15 to 20 meters or so, unless you catch an enemy in the open, they will have enough time to retreat into cover and stop the bleeding, especially if they have Bloodless, and in my experience, Bloodless is a pretty popular trait. Trust me when I say that I would rather make someone bleed than not, but this decision isn't being made in a vacuum, and the Nitro's bleed is significantly more situational than other bleed guns because the Nitro just does so much damage. Finally, the price. The Nitro is one of the big three in terms of the price. The Nitro itself costing a whopping $1,015. Just taking the Nitro is putting a strain on your wallet. So to pay an extra $225 for the shredders is rough, bumping the cost of your primary to a staggering $1,240 hunt dollars. In my opinion and experience, paying that extra $225 trading the best pen in the game for compact pen and slightly reducing my muzzle velocity for some situational bleed and an extension to my one-shot range of 15 meters is not worth it to me. I do still like running shredders, and they aren't bad, but I still personally prefer stock. Even if you do prefer shredders, I'm at least wanting to make it clear that shredders aren't inherently better than stock nitro ammo, like most people on the r/hunt showdown subreddit seem to believe. And many people would prefer the shredders over stock despite what I mentioned, and that's perfectly okay. Again, shredders aren't bad. They just aren't definitively better than stock nitro rounds. Thank you all for watching my video. This is the first real video I have ever made, so please give me feedback. I'm still learning. Have a good one, mates.